I'm Daniel, and we're here in the Heylo Cannabis Lab on the Show Me Seattle Urban Adventure Tour. And today we're going to walk through our lab and show you behind the scenes how we make high-quality cannabis products that help you get more out of life. And that is why we exist. That is why Lo Friesen back in 2017 started this company. And to fulfill our values of education and transparency, we like to open our doors and show you what we have going on. And we'll start that process by showing you the way we source cannabis that goes into our products. Let's go. So the first stop on our journey through the Heylo lab is sourcing. It's impossible for us to make a high-quality cannabis vape without high-quality material. We follow 3 simple principles for all of the material that goes into our vapes. 1, it must be pesticide-free, and that means no pesticides used at any point in the process of growing the plant. We don't just test the oil at the end of the extraction to ensure there's no pesticides. We make sure that it was grown clean from the start. 2, it must be full bud. That means using the same part of the plant that you would buy on the retail shelf. If you want an experience like the flower can enable, you need to start with the actual flower. And 3, it must have interesting chemistry. That means we choose flower not based on the amount of THC in it, but its overall cannabinoid and terpene profile. Interesting chemistry means unique experiences for you, the end consumer. Once we've sourced high-quality material, it's time to turn it into high-quality oil. And for that, we'll head over to the CO2 extraction machines to show you how it's done. Here we are in front of Heylo's 2 supercritical CO2 extraction systems. Heylo chose CO2 as our extraction method of choice because it's safe, clean, and versatile. To do a CO2 extraction, we start by loading the extraction vessel with 10 pounds of high-quality flower. We then bring the extraction vessel up to pressure and temperature, creating a supercritical state of CO2. When CO2 passes into its supercritical phase, it has properties of a liquid and a gas at the same time. It then merges with the plant material, pulling off various cannabinoids, terpenes, waxes as they merge with the supercritical fluid. When we open up the flow of the system between the extraction vessel and the separation vessel, supercritical CO2 begins to flow out and enter the separation vessel. The separation vessel is running at a lower pressure and temperature, where the CO2 can no longer sustain the supercritical state and it flashes into a gas. Everything that was picked up in the extraction vessel falls down into the collection cup, while CO2 gas passes out the top and gets recondensed into a liquid before re-entering the extraction vessel, completing a closed loop. The beverage grade CO2 that we use runs through this system about 12 to 24 hours before we pull cannabis oil from the collection cup. This beautiful gold cannabis oil is as close to the plant as possible, and we aim to do as little to it from here on out before it goes into your vape cartridges. We'll show you those next steps in the lab. After oil comes out of the CO2 extraction machine, it comes into the Heylo lab, where we run various tests and decide what extent we need to post-process it before it can go into vape cartridges. Our philosophy is simple: to do as little as possible to the oil to retain the original chemistry of the flower. Our goal is to make cannabis extracts that are as close to the plant as possible, and so we do as little as possible in the lab. That means little to none filtration and distillation of the cannabis oil. Once the oil is ready, it's off to get packaged and loaded up into tubes and off onto the retail shelf. We'll show you how that happens next. When Heylo oil leaves the lab, it's time to get filled into vape cartridges and loaded up into our packaging. We make 2 types of vape cartridges, 510 thread and PAX pods. The difference is basically this is open source while this is proprietary, like an iPhone. The Heylo box is unique and helps you get more out of your cannabis experience. On the front of the box, you'll find the strain name, a scale from daytime to night, activities that pair well with the oil, as well as a fact about the chemistry of the oil. On the side of the box, you'll see this color wheel, which is a visual representation of the top 8 terpenes called the Cannastamp. You'll also find the top 5 cannabinoids, as well as the top 3 terpenes, and a temperature recommendation from low to high. On the back of the box, you'll find information about the Spotify playlist that was curated for this particular strain, as well as coloring sheets we have available on the website designed by artists to pair with this strain experience. We put this information on the Heylo box so that you, as a consumer, can go into a store and find the cannabis product that's right for you. Our goal at Heylo is to help you get more out of life, and that's why we share this information on the box, and we hope it's useful to you.